Between respect and affection, unpacking an enduring connection under the weight of fame. Fame rarely allows relationships to exist in their natural state. It draws the spotlight to every gesture, exaggerates every silence, and forces every interaction to have meaning. In that space, Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan formed, and maintained, a bond that both intrigued and bewildered the public. Not because they announced anything, but because they didn't. What existed between them seemed unyielding to familiar interpretations. It didn't crumble under rumors, nor was it confined by romantic labels. Instead, it endured quietly, supported by professional respect, human kindness, and the discipline of boundaries in an environment that constantly sought to blur those boundaries. The pressure of public scrutiny. After 50 Shades, the public's gaze was no longer neutral. The public wanted a continuation of their fictional story in real life. Any coincidence, a perfectly timed smile, a matching remark, is interpreted as evidence. In that context, persistence lies not in loud rebuttals, but in the ability to keep the interaction from becoming distorted. Dakota and Jamie didn't fight the discourse. They went through it, by lowering their volume, maintaining their rhythm, and being consistent in their attitude. That consistency, over time, became their most credible response. 2 defenses, 1 goal. They chose 2 different strategies but converging on the same goal. Dakota used witty irony and emotional restraint. She responded concisely, avoiding superfluous explanations, not giving rumors fuel. Jamie relied on personal discipline and a detached life. He didn't get involved, didn't overreact, letting time do its work. Both understood. Every superfluous reaction prolongs the cycle of speculation. The silence here isn't avoidance, it's a moral decision. Respect for the profession as a foundation. Many bonds in the entertainment industry break down because of confused roles. In Dakota and Jamie, professional boundaries are set first, and that's what allows goodwill to exist without being intrusive. They speak of each other with specific descriptions: discipline, intelligence, preparation, the ability to listen. It's the language of colleagues who have weathered the pressure together, not vague flattery to polish their image. When respect is the foundation, any goodwill that arises is placed within a safe framework. Personal goodwill doesn't need to be possessive. What puzzles the public is that the goodwill between them is clear, but not possessive. There are no signs of territorial defense, no need to define the relationship. The rapport here is like quiet trust, understanding how the other person reacts under pressure, knowing when to step back, when to leave them alone. It's an undemanding intimacy, a rare form of closeness in an environment that constantly pressures for self-expression. The language of silence. If there's anything that says the most about this connection, it's the silence. In general interviews, after laughter there's often a pause. They don't rush to fill it. That pause isn't tense, it's familiar. Familiar silences are a sign of reassurance. No need to prove anything, no need to act. It is these pauses, undramatic, that make the viewer feel something. Because it's real. Rumors as a test of endurance. Romantic rumors are the most persistent test. They return in many forms, changing language, changing timing. What's remarkable isn't that the rumors persist, but that their reactions remain unchanged. No increased performance to distract. No narrowing of interactions to avoid misunderstanding. Just maintaining the same level. Maintaining the same level is the behavior of someone confident in their boundaries. The maturity of motivation. Over time, the dynamics between them subside, not because of distance, but because there's no longer a need for defense. As the initial pressure fades, what remains is a calm presence, no longer forced to prove anything. This maturity is reflected in how they talk about the past. No avoidance, no sugarcoating. Simply acknowledging it as a period gone by, and valuable for what it taught them. Reputation and emotional discipline. Reputation amplifies emotion, but emotional discipline is what determines whether a relationship survives. Dakota and Jamie demonstrate this discipline by not exploiting shared memories for attention, not using their connection as media property, not reacting to news cycles. This discipline isn't cold, it's human, because it protects the person behind the role. When respect fosters affection. In many public narratives, respect and affection are placed at opposite ends. Here, they nurture each other. Respect prevents affection from overflowing. Affection prevents respect from becoming rigid. That balance, fragile yet firm, is the engine for a lasting bond. What the public perceives. Viewers don't perceive hidden love. They perceive unpretentious empathy. That's why the interpretations keep coming back. People recognize emotional truth even when it's unlabeled. But that truth isn't necessarily romantic. It could be deep empathy, mutual respect, and a healthy, shared memory. Deliberate distance. There are periods when they appear together less frequently. This distance doesn't break the connection, it preserves it. Deliberate distance allows each person to develop independently, without being dragged down by old interpretations. When distance isn't overshadowed by conflict, it becomes breathing space. Connection beyond fiction. What endures most is that the bond is no longer bound by characters. It exists on a human level, between two people who have learned to weather the media storm. No dramatic ending needed. No confirmation needed. Just maintaining kindness to each other, and to themselves. A rare balance. Amidst fame, what's rare isn't affection, but balance. Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan show a different model. A bond supported by respect, warmed by goodwill, and protected by boundaries. It doesn't need noise to survive. It needs no name to endure. And perhaps, in a world that always demands quick answers, their consistent silence is the most honest answer of all.